Teens look at Alzheimer's disease. Part 2. What can I expect and how can I deal with it? When someone is in the earliest stage of Alzheimer's disease, you may be surprised to discover that they have the diagnosis. You may or may not have noticed the changes in the person, but the changes are pretty subtle most of the time. Throughout the middle stages, there are a lot of interesting ways to interact. You can try engaging the person in a simplified version of something they used to love. If they always liked to garden, they could help you plant a few pots of flowers or hold a bag while you pull some weeds. Or you can watch an old movie together and talk about what's happening as it goes along. The key is to talk about what they are interested in at the moment, instead of expecting them to understand what is on your mind. During the middle stage, the person may gradually change in how they relate to you. They may have problems getting your name right, or they may seem really moody. That's because of the disease. It is a reflection of how their brain is changing. Some people describe it like this. It's as if someone's life story is written on a blackboard and the story is being erased from right now backwards to the beginning of their life. Things from a long time ago are still clear, while recent events or conversations may be foggy. Here are some tips that may make it easier when communicating with someone in the middle stage. Make eye contact. Use short, simple sentences. Speak slowly, gently, and calmly, and listen attentively. In the late stage, communication is less about conversation and more about connecting with them in other ways. Some tips that can help include: allow time. It will take longer for the person to do almost everything. Use body language. They will read your facial expression, posture, gestures, and tone of voice far better than your words. The person may get confused fairly often, and that can be very frustrating for them. Rather than trying to convince them of something, talk about the feelings that the person is showing, and then suggest doing something different together. Connect by using senses. Holding hands, listening to favorite music, tasting soft, sweet foods, smelling a favorite flower, all of these can provide comfort and connection with the person in the late stage of Alzheimer's. If you don't live with the person with Alzheimer's, it will feel different when you visit him or her in the later stages of their disease. The person may not remember that you're coming to see them, even if they had a reminder recently. There are some things you can do to help make that easier. When you approach them, walk up to them slowly and say something like, "Hi Grandpa, it's your grandson Alan. It's nice to see you." If the person has a hard time remembering who you are or calls you by a different name, it can be hard. But try to remember that it's about their disease and the progressive changes that come with it. It's easiest for you and for them to just go along with what they're saying instead of trying to correct them. Take your time and just be with the person.